Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for finding time and visiting today's seminar. My name is Madhukar Samatam. I am founder and director at Professional Education Services. Our company is a leading provider of tutorial services, mechanical CAD design training, and project assistance. Today, our webinar topic is challenges and opportunities for the students in preparation for higher education, higher education competitive exams in India and now and post COVID-19. Now we can begin. Our today's topic speaker is Professor P. Lakshmi Narayana sir from Usmania University. Coming to the webinar, we will be having a doubt session at the end of the class. So don't interrupt the session in the middle of the class. So we can have, if anyone have doubts, you can write it down and ask at end of the session. So we will be then going to the welcome to the today's section. You can see on the screen. Yeah. I welcome on the behalf of PES, I welcome P. Lakshmi Narayana sir to this webinar. It is also live streamed in Facebook and YouTube at the same time. If anyone have doubts in the Facebook or YouTube, please mention your doubts in the comment section. We will be getting back at the end of the session. So coming to the speaker, Professor P. Lakshmi Narayana sir has a rich experience in administration, community service and corporate activities and proactive with the sound organizing and decision making skills. Star also works presently working as a professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering, University College of Engineering, Usmania University. He is also a special officer for Alumni Association of Usmania University, OU from 2010 to present. He previously taken the positions of Dean, Faculty of Engineering, Dean, Student Affairs, both at the Usmania University. He is also former head in for the Department of Mechanical Engineering, University College of Engineering, OU. He is also acted as a former vice principal for University College of Technology. He has guided more than 100 plus students in research for the BE, ME, and PhD level students. He has published around more than 800 international journals and national research publications. He has introduced alumni scholarship to the poor and rural background students in the university by the alumni of OU. He has delivered many guest lectures at IP, Geetham University, Usman University, and many more reputed institutes and universities. I now welcome P. Lakshminarayan sir to present his webinar. Thank you, everyone. So please take on the class.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all of you. Especially thanks for the Madhukar and his team of professional education services, and also the Alia Foundation for introducing me. Madhukar, thank you. And this is an opportunity for me to interact with you people. There are many parents, students, and experts also may be there. So today's challenge is mainly challenges and opportunities in higher education system in India. So all of you will know about that because of this COVID effect and how it is going on and how it is the people are panic and due to this pandemic, etc. So presently just my topic is today the challenges in higher education. So Madhukar, you have to just keep changing it. Go to the next slide. Madhukar. Madhukar. Hello. Hello. Okay. Madhukar, can I share my PPTs now?
No, sir. Yes, sir. I'm audible. I am audible, sir. No.
Yeah, audible, but sometimes unable to skip it.
No,
Do one thing. Can I share this one? నేను షేర్ చేస్తాను.
అవునా? Okay, sir.
Uh,
Carry on, sir.
it,
Okay, carry.
okay.
So it's not shaded, sir. It has not shaded.
So turn off options. I don't know how to.
Okay, sir, you can carry on, sir. I will be changing the
Okay.
slides. That's not an issue, sir.
Okay. The Usman city is almost as 100 university, 100 years old university. It is located in Hyderabad, Telangana state. And in 2017, the Honorable President of India, Pranab Mukherjee ji, inaugurated the centenary celebrations of Usman city. So this is the Usman city where I am working over here. This is only a little bit about my university. I think everyone knows about it. It's an oldest university in the country. Okay, next. So all of you know about, before going to the challenges in education 4.0. So what is Industry 4.0? So it is the current trend of automation and data exchange in technologies. So it includes the cyber physical systems and the Internet of Things, cloud computing. So when the industry started, revolution started in the present situation in the country or on the globe, the first revolution is a mechanization. That is, the power is generated through the water, steam power only, and even hydropower also. So that is the mainly energies development that was used in, that is 1784, the beginning of the mankind coming into the industrialization. And the second, for 2.0, this is the only thing is coming in introduced in 1870 approximately, 1870. So that was only the mass production assembly line, and there we use the electricity power. And the third, 3.0 of industry 3.0. So this was started the computers when they coming into the playing a major role in the industry and academically, and as well as from the for the industry also. So that was started in 1969. And coming to the industry 4.0, so this is currently they are using it actually. This is cyber physical systems. So there are many things are happening over here, that mainly IoT and cloud computing and cyber physical systems. So how the physical systems are secured, etc., etc. So this is started presently. So this is mainly we are using it in industry 4. So according to the industry 4, our education also we have started to be similar to the applications of what are the need of the industry, today's need of the industry. We have to use the education system also. So people are using it, but what happened suddenly, this COVID effect has come. This COVID pandemic is introduced it here. So now we have to go for that. Next, Madhika. So that COVID mainly, so that to the education system, education 4.0. So that is nothing but education 1.0. That is nothing but lecture and memorizations. So that we know that lectures and memorization, and education 2.0, internet enabled learning, and education 3.0, knowledge producing education, and education 4.0, innovation producing and education. So this is the presently situation after the effect, and the currently the industry also looking for that kind of things. So education 1.1, you can see this diagram. So in this generally, the teacher used to teach for the many students. Here nothing but before this 2008, there was a education system that is a one-to-one. So that is a guru to shishya. That was a system. They used to teach in such a way. So at the time only one-to-one. After that one-to-many. So the one-to-many also it comes under the education 1. So after that education 2. So that is the education 2.0. So that is started somewhere in the 2008. That system. So there the people are mainly many to many also. So the cross teaching and the peer groups, parents also teaching the students, And students not only going to the schools, they're going to the tuitions and discuss with the elders. So many things are even the classmates, etc., etc. So after that, 2010 onwards, the education 3.0 has come into the picture. That is a knowledge producing education. So the knowledge producing the education, so mainly here, so how that extraordinary things they used to learn over there, that is knowledge kind of things they introduced over there. Madhukar, next slide. So here you can see that innovation champion, the countries, what are the countries, they are doing more innovation and more scope in the innovation. So in this graph, you can see that, so almost in the foreign countries and European countries and Japan, so out of 35% is mainly 33% from the United States of America, 17% Japan, 10% is Germany, 9% is China, 3% is China and South Korea, Israel, and UAE, UK, and India is coming somewhere only. Here you can see that only 1%. After UK, 2%. So the innovation is very less in our country. So in this, you can see that our education system is still one-to-one and one-to-many only. Only thing is you have to by heart, and whatever the pattern syllabus also, only thing is a fixed syllabus. From that only, the exam pattern also they're conducting in a similar way. They have to conduct the exams from the limited syllabus or given syllabus. From that, 5 chapters or 5 units, or some universities they are giving 6 units. In the 6 units also, so the student they know that from this area only we are going to get the questions, and those questions can by heart it and memorize it, and the same thing you can write it in the examination, you will get the good marks. Even you can see that 10 plus 2, even up to 10th standard also, students are getting nowadays almost 90 plus percentage. GPA also 9.1 to minimum almost. So fail candidates is very less. So it means students are only by hearting it. So that is not correct one actually. So what is the technology? What are the applications? So with that application, how we are going to innovate the new ideas? So that is a lack of in our education system. But because we are only innovation is part is only 2% only. So this 2% we have to improve it. We should go at least 10, 17 and 33. We have to make it. So that is not there. But generally you can observe that even our parents or our elders in the family, so once they experience one thing, they are using that experience, they're working on some other applications, then improving it over. You can take the farmer. The farmer know that how to grow, how to cultivate it, how to grow the paddy. So not only the paddy, how to grow the wheat, how to grow the groundnuts, other oil seeds, other fruits, fruit plants and vegetables. So they know that how to grow it, how to protect it, and when to take the fruits, how to sell it, how to store it. So one product to the byproducts, how they are getting it. So many things are introducing it. So that is the education we require even in our education system. Now many people are studying engineering, but they are doing the job. Some of them is doing in banks, some of them doing in even administrations. But where the engineering application they are introducing it. So this kind of questions are arising it actually. So the system, so how the people are learning and how they are introducing the main ideas. So interdisciplinary should come over there actually. So that is the education system is requirements for industry 4.0 presently. So this is the one. Next, please. So our main role, the teacher's role is to help the students, to learn that students to see the truth and listen their heart and smell the dangers and opportunities. Dangers means challenges. You have to take up the challenges, what are there, and with that challenge, they take it as a challenge, and they can take the opportunities. They can grab the opportunities, and improve that one. That how to smell it. Smell it means they're looking into that. Every day they have to see that, and they what is happening in the on the globe, and what type of industry, what type of the products are coming. So everything they have to smell it. And after that, touch it people's heart, what they want, what you are doing it, what are the opportunities, how you are utilizing it, and how you are producing their applications for their advantages, and how the mankind, the social life, how it is improving it. So for that, you have to touch them and the taste the future. You can predict that how the future also is going to be, because so many countries are there, so much of education is introducing in day to day, so much of technology is available nowadays. So all the technology is available on your fingertips. So earlier days, so only thing is the textbooks were available or newspaper were available. Only at the night, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, only DD, Doordarshan news was available, or every 1 hour in the radio, the news was available. So the present technology, you can see that I think many 30 to 40% people are using smartphones, WhatsApp, and all kind of apps they are using it. Minute to minute, what is happening on the globe, they are getting the news. So that is mainly the future. So in the future also, any new topic, new product, new technology, what is happening, how they are improving it. So they have to learn it and they have to implement it. The education also similar way they have to do that. So that is the mainly. So the teacher's main role is teachers and parents and the peer group and alumni. The main role is these are the things actually, the truth. They have to see, they have to listen, they have to smell, they have to touch, they have to taste. So these are the things, keep it in your mind for the teachers, parents, and the peer groups and alumni, especially for the shaping the minds of the young people and building the characteristics of the current generation, and instilling the values and introducing into their mind. So these are the mainly the elders they're supposed to do in that. And the education system also should work towards this action. Next, please. Madhukar, next. Okay, these are to help them. Help them means help to the students. Okay, here you can see that delivery of higher education from 1 to 4. So there's only some of the drawings is given that the teacher used to explain that how this curve is coming up, etc., etc. This is education 1.0, and education 1.2 is they used to have that in higher education, learning the respective reciprocated stuff for of the knowledge. So here these PPTs has come earlier on the blackboard. So after that PPTs, OHP, so they introduced it. So after that they used the even that internet, etc. And now you can see that these all three are basically where that wire is connected in that. Teacher is connected over there directly. But coming to the 4.0, so you can learn it now. This meeting also we are conducting under the 4.0 only. People are there all over the globe. Even I'm in Hyderabad, you are in Mumbai, Karnataka, Bangalore, or in districts, or in Andhra Pradesh, Vijayawada, Visakhapatnam, or Nalgonda. So many places, different places. Not only in your house, you may be in the traveling, you may be at your field work, you may be in industry, you may be at your office. So you are traveling in a car. So many things are there. This is a 4.0. One application. We know that one application is internet and data is available. So you can go to the Zoom or Google Meet. Just you can download. We can conduct the webinars wherever you are. If you are not possible to listen now, you can record it and you can go for it also. So many things are there. So the people are working on that. So this is mainly education 4.0. So that's where the future generation is education 4.0 campaign. So address this enormous emergency. Basically, they did it. Actually, they helped nearly 6,000 families. They helped it actually for the groceries for 2 weeks. Groceries they helped it. Okay, next please. So this pandemic, mainly has forced the institutions to close down actually. So the they should use a unique method of digital physical interaction, and that enhances the learning, motivation, and working. Actually, earlier we used to have the textbook type of one. Now everything on your fingertips. Okay, next please. This is only Madhukar, disturb aitunda?
No, sir, no, sir. Converting just take 2 seconds to convert that.
అంటే మీకు టైం పడుతుంది అట్లా అని. So next please, the speed at which academic institutions in India close in response to COVID-19, everyone knows about that. So that is mainly thing is minimize the risk to the students is commendable. So most institutions may be praying for a quick return to normality, or planning to use the summer vacation to minimize the disruption of the academic schedule. So now the summer vacations also is gone. Still, we are unable to reopen the education institutions. Even some of the institutions faculty have quickly shifted their courses to the online delivery models. And such models also, so not only scalable, but also encourages students to ask the questions and seek clarifications without the fear being judged. Actually, this is the online modes even people are using for the LKG to university level. So is it correct or not? Still, it is a debatable thing. So people are working on that, but at the school level, it's very difficult. So because of all the parents and all the students, they may not have this kind of equipment, or they may not having the mobile smartphones. Even some villages, they won't get even network in the house. They have to go to the outside the house and they can get the connections. So many problems are there in that. So those problems, even with maintaining the physical distance. So it means if everything is available in the house also, so not only one kid in the house studying at the, maybe one kid is studying at the lower primary school, one is at high school, one at the college level, one at the high school level. If the 4 people are there in the house, they should have 4 separate rooms. So it is very difficult for them to the 4 people they are having it. Otherwise, you have to 4 people, they can purchase the laptops or tabs or smartphones and internet connection, and the power should be, backup should be there. So many issues actually. That too with maintaining the physical distance. So the students' learning and innovation are fundamentally social process that depending on the quality of interaction among the diverse people, and mainly these are the organizations, they have to see that it should be available to every student. So otherwise some of the students, they may losing, these are the online interaction with the education institutions. The students work as interns with the startups and organizations inside and outside the campus, and physical distancing coupled with teaching centric policies and cloud cripple learning innovation process. So it is therefore imperative that institutions must carefully think through their responses to the COVID-19, and their interventions must be considered to use this crisis and develop a unique mix of digital and physical interaction that enhances learning and innovation and better working of the education systems. That they have to see that. And another one is first and foremost, so it is time for the institution to embrace the digital in a big way actually in a core academic activities in addition to the administrative processes, because the administration processes, they have to see that the coming academic year, how to take the input of the admissions for the coming academic year. For the up to 9th to 10th, you will get it, but 11th you need again a fresh students you have to take into the colleges. At the BTech level, first year you have to take the fresh students, MTech level, fresh students, PG level. To earn a successful life, and the education system must enable him to do so. So that's why every child is born a genius, actually, every person. So you can see that every person having a genius means we have different fingerprints, different ideas, different structure. Structure means face cut, etc., etc., etc. So it means every person is given a chance. They can work in their own way, actually. Compare with the nature also, every tree, it will give a different flowers, different fruits, fragrance. Even the all types of mangoes also not same. So it means there is a taste is different based on the there where it was growing, where it was grown. So this similarly the student also where is studying, what type of education is available for him. So based on that, there is a successful life for him. So right to earn a successful life, so the education system must enable him to do so actually. Therefore, education and training are the most effective tools to achieve this outcome, and recognize that each student has wings and does not kill him up to fly high. So give him a chance of whatever you want to study. So in the present situation, many parents or the peer group, they're saying that study only the science and engineering, not only the doctors and medical engineering. So there are many opportunities are there, commerce side, even arts side, music, fine arts, so many, even the many marketing, management, administration, even teaching, nursing. So people they want work actually. Socially people want to work, NGOs, even a political leader, they want to become a good leaders. So they have to go through the choose their uh, academics based on their interest actually. So don't force the child. So in the beginning you can give all the opportunities, so let him choose the best one. So the education for is nothing but this is a time, is a smart time. The current generation is a very smart kids, so they know that what to do, how to implement, how to work on that. The old people, some of the people, they doesn't know even how to open the internet, email. So the smart kid, you know that how to even how to make the tic tac videos, etc. He is making it so many things, taking a photographs, even is making a small photographs and is adding in like a videos, and is making in a like a documentary movie. So these are the smart, that is a education for. This is a smart time, a smart education we have to give and provide to the all the students. Next, please. So next, what happened? So the smart term is simply becoming a substitute of the word internet actually. Smart is nothing but it is a substitute of the internet. Otherwise, the word internet we can make use of it. So this is a smart is nothing but a word of internet. It can be used for the words digital sector, world digital sector by including smartphones, applications, technology, and the digital in general, actually. So he further remarks the smart indicates a fundamental mutation of the web. So here the passage for the information and communication now to the internet of knowledge. That is nothing but IoT, how they are using it, everything you have to go there. Next, please, just go fastly, Madhukar.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So here you can see that education one is nothing but a knowledge creation. So here, in the lights of these revolutionary developments in regards to one is creation of the knowledge, dissemination of the knowledge, and retribution of the knowledge, application of the knowledge. Next, please. So this is mainly architecture of the education 4. How you are going to creating it, how you are disseminating it, how you are dissemination. So this is also education 1. Here earlier it was a Guru Shishya Parampara, teacher student radiation. That was the first one. So this was started in India. So in India, actually, they started in this one in the 9th century. So at that time, they started the universities, few universities, Nalanda, Takshashila, Ujjaini, and Veera Mashyala in India. And some of them even in the Japan also, they started during the same time. So that was university started in the 9th century in India. Now in the Indian universities, you can see that at what place in the ranking. Earlier it was on the top. Even the foreign countries, they used to come from the European countries, they used to come and study in the Nalanda and Takshashila and Ujjain. So now our students are going to the foreign countries, Harvard and etc. So many Texas and University of Washington. So many universities people are migrating from India to other states, other countries. So it was a reverse. So I think this pandemic is going to help to the India again. So our education system is going to improve it. Even our present governments, especially central government and the state governments also, they're concentrating how to improve the education system in India. So here also private universities are coming, and that is a competition for the government or public universities, public institutions. So they are more competition among the universities, and they want to create the best among the available universities. So then only they can sustain it. Otherwise, there is no chance of the universities to sustain, and they have to close. So that's where the universities, they should concentrate on that 4.0. Next, please. So this is education 1. Madhukar. So the education 2, this is almost started in 14th to 18th century. So up to 13th century, it is education 1 only, 1.0. So in the education 2.0, it is 14th or mid 15th century, the invention of the printing press changed the dynamics of the knowledge reproduction and sharing the system of knowledge. So the printing press is started or invented in China actually. So whatever the knowledge is, you have that you have to print it on a paper, and that we are going to store it, that we are going to distributing among the people or among the students, so they can remember it actually. Otherwise, in the olden days, the one-to-one Guru Shishya Parampara, like in the Mahabharata, you have to see that Ekalavya also learned, and the Pandava Kauravas also, they learned it with the Guru. So it means whatever you are listening it, listen it, practice it. It means every day you have to, whatever you are learn, so you have to conduct the exam immediately. So that kind of education system, once they practice it, they remember it forever actually. So in the present system, you can see that whatever the teacher is saying, that we are listening it, but we are going home or coming back after a week, so we don't know what is happening, we forget about it. It means something is missing in the present education system. So what is that missing? What are the gaps in the education system? We have to identify that. I think this again is going to be, we're going to get through this after this COVID effect. So the people are, at least they are knowing about it, what are the online classes, how they can conduct online exams. So without knowing, and the open book system or kind of exams. So it means, so everything is open, they will conduct, they can teach them, and what are the things they are learning it. Even the parents and the elders in the house also, they can see that how the student is, how their kid is, how their ward is studying it, so that they can watching about it. If they are not doing it properly, it's very difficult. Otherwise, they don't know the kid is went to school or college, or he gone to movie or some other place. No one knows. He's going morning 9 o'clock, coming back at 5 o'clock. So he's saying that he went to the college or school or education institution, but no one knows where he's gone. So if his online classes is in the house only, even is doing, what they're teaching, what are the assignments are there. So the assignments also they're sending to the WhatsApp. They're sending the assignments to the parent WhatsApp number also. So much of watch is there on that. So this is nothing but becoming one to many actually in this system. Earlier system, in the one is only 1 to 1. This is the 1, 0 to M is not 0, it's a O actually, 1 to M. So this 1 to 1 M, so this is it was a journey of elite education to mass education, women's education. So the informal education becomes formal, and it discipline when we're born. Actually, 1 to 1 is a informal actually. When the informal కొన్ని స్లైడ్స్ స్కిప్ చేయొచ్చు మధుకర్.
అవునా, ఓకే సార్, చేద్దాం సార్.
జస్ట్ ఫాస్ట్ గా పోతూ ఉండు, ఇంటరాక్షన్ పెడదాం, ఏం లేవు పెద్దగా కానీ.
అవునా, ఓకే ఓకే సార్, జస్ట్ ఒకటి ఆగిపోయింది సార్, స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం.
నాకు ఇస్తే నేను ప్రజెంట్ చేస్తా కదా, లేకుంటే.
అవునా, మీకు పంపించాను సార్, ఫోల్డర్ మీకు వాట్సాప్లో ఉంది సార్.
ఓకే,
మీ వాట్సాప్లో కూడా ఉంది, లేదా నన్ను షేర్ చేయమని
నేను షేర్ చేస్తాను, నా దగ్గర ఉన్న పీపీటీ.
అవునా, లేదు ఒక్క పర్లేదు సార్, నేనేం చేసేస్తాను సార్.
నాది ఇప్పుడు వచ్చింది చూడండి మీరు. ఓకే,
యా ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ కరెక్ట్.
యా ఓకే సార్, full screen will be correctly full screen.
Okay,
yeah, okay sir, go ahead.
So this you see that education 3. So the education 3 is nothing but the present day of education in the age of Internet of Things actually, Internet and information technology. So this is actually started somewhere in the 1969 or 1966 onwards. Before that, there were no computers. Someone is open two instruments.
Okay sir, we are muted then sir.
The higher education 3.0 means that present day education system in the age of internet and information technology. So this period of is nothing but it is called the democratization of the higher education. So the higher education 3 it has become the democratization of the higher education. Before that, it was not democratized. So the phase of 20th century, actually we are discussing about the Ekalavya. So that was education 1. So after that, the education has come to the only the elected families was education 2. And education 3 as when the India got the independence. And before the independence also only the few people they used to go to the school. So after getting the independence in 1947, the higher education in India, so this period is called the democratization of the higher education. So everyone, the interested student or kids, they want to go to the school, there is a chance to go into the education institutions. There was government education institutions and people they are going there and they were studied it actually. So this is next one. The higher education 4 puts a learner at the center and it enables the student to choose his or her mode of higher education by structuring an individual path to achieve individual goals actually. So this is mainly the foundation institutions, career focused institution. Some of the institutions are research focused institutions in higher education. Actually, people, they can choose it actually wherever they want, only the foundation courses or only the career force, the focused one. So it is a global collaborative and personalized learning. So now one can learn at the campus or at home, even at the workplace. So this is mainly the advantage of the education 4.0. So you can learn wherever you want it actually. You don't need to go regular to the school or college. Even you can learn on online also. So that is the mainly higher education system. So here you can see that this tabular one. So the mainly what is the learning sources? First one is only the building is enough in the first education one. There is only school building. Second one is buildings and online. And the third one is where the internet access is present and extremely learning kind of things. And fourth education, that is a 4.0, anywhere and anywhere and everywhere. That is a system actually. In this actually you can see that one more thing, teacher and student interactions is positive feedbacks between the teacher and student to student, teacher student and student to student, student to teacher. And these are the methods, so many multiple interactions are possible over there. And instructors are anyone supported through the anyone supported through the internet kind of things. So this is only the innovation, producing and education. This is a 4.1. So earlier one is only the talent, agriculture talent or industrial and age skill. And what are the knowledge you are producing it, they learned it little bit and they referred to some of the books, journals on the internet, through the internet only. So now not only through the internet, but so many things, so many interaction. Every day people are sending WhatsApp messages and WhatsApp videos. Even people are watching whenever they want, they can leave. And even some of the apps are there like what is that? What the people are watching are movies, that Fire Sticks. There is Amazon videos, and many are there. Intel and what is that other one? I don't know. There are many are there on the TV. So those things we can watch on that actually. So those is coming under the 4.0. So prepared of universities toward the education 4 actually. So higher education 4.0 behind boundaries. So behind higher education institutions and translation the real sense. So mainly this method of learning is transforming conventional students into the active learner. So the learner of 4.0 has full freedom to choose the course, knowledge and skills. So this is nothing but when you go into the movie, carefully, interestingly, you'll see that. If you don't like that movie, what will happen? You will come out of the theater. If you are watching something on the TV, if is interested, you will stick to the TV. So otherwise, you'll go away. If you are watching a T20 cricket, curiosity, you'll watch it. Even you can explain them what happened next to the next day to the other people who are not watched that movie, that my match. So it means that is the 4.0 type of technique or education. You're watching it movie, you are watching the good interested game. So it means you know bit to bit and you will explain them. If something is happening on the road, you are the witness of that. Even after 1 month or after 1 year also, if that it will coming into your mind and you will explain them, you will give the witness in a proper way. So it means you are not read it anywhere again and again. Just only once you are observed it, once only you are identified it, you watched it, you saw it, but still you are remembering and you are explaining it. How the Bahubali movie you are explaining it, what happened, what it is, etc., etc. So every bit, every word, everything you are working on that. Song you may not be remembering it, but story you are remembering it, and that story you want to create something, you want to act something, you are working on that. People are doing a dance, how it is, how step by step they are following it. So this is the kind of education now the smart time kids they want. Even the industry 4 also, they want this kind of people for their employees. So who is having a higher education or a PhD, a higher, small, many papers, etc., they don't want. So who is feasible, who is flexible, flexible at the workplace, flexible at their education, and flexible in the learning, flexible in the timings. So those people only they want to in their industry. So that they are the government, the present industry is looking for this kind of employee, this kind of education people. Even they may not having any higher degrees, BTech, MTech, PhD. If he is only capable to do that, simulation and other things on their internet kind of things, if they are designing it, they know how to CAD and etc. And they can set it by using a learning by through the YouTubes and etc. So those things is enough to get the job. Even the topmost job in the good industries, institutions or good companies. So this is all the universities also should be prepared towards the education 4.0. Otherwise, it's a waste, and the universities may not go forward, and the ranking it may be the end. So here, this higher education 4.0 shall eradicate the distance between the cultures, societies. Thus, a student can learn from multiple universities and pursuing choice-based courses, acquiring the degrees of their choice. So you may be in India, so you may be taken admission in foreign universities, Harvard and other topmost universities. So from there you can choose and take some of the courses on online. And if you get a good course, good grade in that, and then that is enough. Because they will conduct the exams, you know the knowledge. Exam is nothing but what level of knowledge do you have in that particular area. That is only to testing you. Otherwise, there is no use of it. There is no need of it. You can see that present our leaders, ministers and chief ministers and prime ministers and etc. presidents of any country, they are not much educationists. But education people are working under them. IAS, scientists, many doctors, engineers. So they have to work under them. Whatever the instruction they are giving it, whatever the policies they are making it, as per their instructions and as per the policies, they have to work for the society and help to the society. So that is the higher education system they want it now. And this education 4.4 system is nothing but next generation education system. So this focus on next generation education. So a model for the future education, this is nothing but 3 R's. The 3 R's are nothing but reading, writing, and arithmetic action. That is nothing but arithmetic. And literature and communication skills. Literature means a person or who is the next generation, who is the educationist in the tomorrow's education system. What is the old literature is available? They have to survey it. And what are the gaps are there? Those gaps they have to able to identify that, and they should get the what are the techniques, what is the technologies available to fulfill or to take up that kind of gaps or their problems to solve them. So that they have to work on that. And improvisation, that improve in that creativity in that gaps. And they should speak different foreign languages also and different culture how they are. And logic and analytical thinking also. Ethics and morality and empathy. Technology exposure and coding. Innovation and scientific experimentation. Entrepreneurship and marketing. And these are the collaboration and sharing. So these are the some of the selected expertization is required. So those people only get good facilities, good jobs, and they'll get the good in amount of money also for their job. So since education 4.0 denotes changes relevant to industry 4, since it is a response to the global call for action of the World Economic Forum. So the World Economic Forum is decided and conducted some of the meetings and introducing to the industry. So education 4.0 is required for the industry 4.0. So the industry can expect better prepared workforce, and students will have better employability and better preparation for the future with a better return expectation on the education investment. So the basic purpose of education and training is to empower an individual to lead successful life and contribute to best to himself, family, society, nation, and humanity. So this is mainly the education 4.0, the future of learning. So the mainly youth, basically you can see that that is the youth is asset of nation actually, India mainly. So the since youth are main asset of any nation, education becomes the most powerful tool for social information. So you can see that youth are the main asset of any nation actually. So India's demographic structure is changing. While the world grows older, the Indian population is becoming younger. Because the population in the throughout the globe is coming less. And India and China basically, so this is the youth and the population is increasing day by day more action. By 2025, about two-thirds of the Indians will be in its workforce on the globe. Two-thirds of Indians. You can say that one-third of people are working for the different activities. Two-thirds of Indians only is working on the globe. If you can see every country, every place, every town, every corner of the place of the globe, at least some Indians will be there. So that much of youth is there, and young youth is there, and interested youth is there. If we can motivate them, then go and work anywhere. Even the Indians are very, they're having a good logical thinking in their mind actually. If you can give a systematic education for them, sorry. So systematic education can give it to them. So definitely they improve their skills. So to make the best national gains from this transition means that COVID and before COVID and during the COVID and after COVID, how it could be. So this transition, we have to make use of it. And the youth have to prepare by higher quality education to make them most productive. And the system needs to be transformed. So the relevant questions, if there is there, whether the India's highest education, higher education is relevant to this present era. Why should a student pay for education, nothing but a tuition fee, when he is unable to earn his livelihood after getting his degree? So why should you pay lakhs of rupees, even crores, for the medical side? So much of people are paying tuition fees. So why should pay for education? So why should a student attend classes when more updated knowledge is available to him via outside resources? So these are the relevant questions in the present situation. When you can see that directly, if you can go to the college or the institution, education, the teachers, they can give the big equations and different diagrams on the blackboard or on the PPTs, on the smart boards. So people will scared about it. What it is this? So x square plus px plus q is equal to 0. What it is? So the answers mainly in Indian approx 904 universities and more than 47,000 colleges are operating like a degree producing factories. Everyone knows that, because what is the employability of our education system? Only 15 to 20% of people are getting jobs. So remaining 80% or 75% to 80% people, they are unfit for any kind of job on in India, in the nation. So especially when the world recognizes those equipped with the relevant knowledge and technologies, the competencies and skills to be applied to them. So Indian universities are not exactly the hotbeds of the great ideas. So innovation and entrepreneurial activities where globally, universities are a big source of new ideas and innovations. So basically, the main aim of the universities are, it is a source for the new ideas and innovations, not like a producing a degree producing factories. So that is not correct actually. They have to teach in innovative way, give them ideas how to get the new ideas, what is the sources, what are the pathway to get the new ideas, innovation kind of things. So that should be a innovative hub. If you can go there, you will learn. So there should be the new idea should be there. It means even the teachers in the universities, they should act like a mentors actually. mentoring is very important. But there also they're making, the policies are making that there should be 1:20 the student teacher ratio. This is not correct actually. At least there should be 1:2, 1:1, 1:3. So this kind of ratio should be there to get the new innovations and the teacher and the student interactions. So that's why maximum 1:10 that may be appropriable, because the teacher should supposed to work here. Any employee work in India 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day means 1 hour for one student. Can give some issue, some problem, ask them to do that, and give some project, how he is working it, where he is stucking up. So you can teach them how to come out of that real problems, live problems. So what are the basic is required at end of the semester? You should supposed to get some new product, a new idea, new approach, new method. So something should be optimized by using that new innovative ideas or innovations. So with the entrepreneurship emerging as a preferred choice, the education system must have enabling provisions in its syllabuses to encourage the development of the entrepreneurial mindset. So entrepreneurship, how you are going to develop it? So generally, a person is working in a shop or in a company. So is daily 1 month or 2 months, he keep on working on that. He will get some expertise in that. So when he's getting the expertise and he's observing some other things in the movies or in a website or in YouTube's, or by attending the webinars, he will get the new ideas. His experience in that new idea, he will come and discuss with the peer group or the experts, and he can solve his new ideas. So that new ideas, it's going to help to the society action. In the present pandemic system, how to protect the kid, how to protect the society. So is there any new technology? You have to work on that. So people are saying so many WhatsApp, so and so things. Every day you have to do this, that, etc. This kind of mask is not good. And H191, 95 mask is not good. Some people are saying it's good. Some people are saying not good. And some people are saying that only can take the cloth, the double stitch is good, etc. etc. So many things. So that which one supposed to observe? Are you practically or seeing that or not? You have to show them practically, easiest way. So how to identify? People are saying that that axometer, you can keep it in your house, purchase it. How many people purchase that to test it? What is the oxygen level of human body? Is there any other methods? Because a poor person also supposed to know that. So this kind of things we should teach to the society. So this is should be we want in the education 4.0. So the future jobs are like this. You have to jump. There is no bridge for you. So the Economic Forum, the World Economic Forum announced the fourth industrial revolution. That is a fourth industrial revolution, nothing but Industry 4.0, predicted major shift about the future jobs. So in this Industry 4.4 have begun adding more fire to already volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous world, and impacting our lives, our relationships, also future of our jobs. So the technology breakthrough is rapidly shifting cutting edge between the work tasks performed by humans and those performed by the machines. So in 2018, an average of 71% of the total task was performed by the humans in industries up to 2018. So after that, what happened? Across 12 selected sectors, by 2020, it is expected to reduce just 58%. So it means how many people are going to become a jobless. So 71% people are working. Out of 71, you can reduce it the 51% out of it. So hardly only few percent of people is going to work. So there, what are the skills you read? You can see that. It should be in the topmost. You have to jump to the big jobs. Only jumping, how you will jump it. So those things you have to work on that. So therefore, increasingly more jobs are likely to be taken over by machines because they are going to reducing the humans. However, not all the gloomy, a new set of jobs expected to emerge where human skills and emotional intelligence will be the most important and valued. So even the people they are conducting the factory, they don't need to go to the factory actually. They can work from the home only. They will keep the action every day. So these are the topics are there. Who are the people they can work and they can submit it. This is a deadline. So by that nothing but the COVID, they want a medicine for that. So how many people they can come up some medicine, some within a week, they will give a deadline. Within a month, they'll keep on extending it. So extending every 1 week, 1 year, every 1 month. So who comes first? That they will take up it, they will produce it, they will market it. Remaining next one means there is no use of it. So there is a and more intellectual, more emotional intelligence. Those are the who are the having more human skills. So these are the things they will look into them actually. So there will be a demand for that actually. So the demand is nothing but demand lead to instead of supply lead to education and competency based instead of knowledge based education. There should be competence. How much knowledge do you have? No, they don't worry. They don't want. How competent you are. That they will look into that. And incorporate disruptive technology skills and sets and lifelong learning instead of loaded learning. The people they may say that if we are taking a typist, they will type the information. If you can give a computer or a laptop, they'll say that I don't know how to operate it. So that they don't want it actually. You should have a lifelong learning. So today you're working on a computer, tomorrow you have to work on the lathe machine also. So it should be multiple. You have to go to the field, work, collect the information, survey information, collect the data and analysis, work on your own way, type on your own way, feed it. So we want all-rounder. So we want a player kind of all-rounder, not a bowler, not a batsman. It should be there everyone, every field, whatever is given, it should work. So emphasis on EQ and IQ. So emotional intelligence and intellectual intelligence. Focus on purposefulness, mindfulness, leading to overall happiness, well-being as a conclusively established in a global research. So these are the framework for the 2030. So what is the future actually? The Education 4 is aimed at improving the productivity of an employee, improving the competitiveness of an industry. So it aims to improve the competitive capacity of the country as a whole, and such a system where creativity and innovativeness of a human brain are improved will make educated students more prepared for an uncertain and volatile future. And the education for the students, the industry, and the country will able to reap the dividends better in terms of for industrial 4.0. So the education 4 also can see even the school level, there is a growing disconnect between the education system and labor markets. Many of the today's children will work in new job types that do not yet exist, with an increased premium on both digital and social emotional skills in the coming years. So mainly the gap between the education and jobs is uh, exacerbated by limited innovation in learning in the learning systems, which were largely designed to mirror factory style growth models. The industry 4.0 has made to imperative that education system adopted. So here you can see that the research was conducted in 2001, classrooms, etc. This is okay. So the learning in future education, this the Life One project reveals of the impact of 3D on pupils' learning. So then you can see that goggles, what type of goggles they're using it. So you are showing only the 2D models. So they want it in the 3D stereotypic 3D has an students learning. The goal of Life One project initiated and conducted by the Texas Instruments DLP was to identify the most effective way of 3D presentation in classrooms and to measure the effect and benefit of these experiences to learning and achievement of the students, pupils. So this is a new education system, learning of in the future education system. So this is a present 4.0 is a project-based action learning actually. So the first is the era. So the 1970s is a different. Implement, the people are junior management and the tools they use are faster. Who made it write fast? Typing, you can see that in a 1 minute, how many words will type it. So how many, in 1 minute, how many lines he will write. So that is the faster technology was there, speed up. And the only management approach was a left brain and the process driven that one purpose. And the 21 is integrate middle junior management and the better right brain and the customer driven. And coming to the education 3, it is an innovative process and the people are junior and junior middle management. And the tool they used is faster, better and cheaper. And the management approach was whole brain. Earlier was only left brain, right brain, and the whole brain. So left brain is the only thing is a junior management, means a lower level people like they want to like army in the lower level, whatever the orders come to the top that they have to implement it, only rule based. Right brain means they'll think and they'll give a little bit feedback. This may not be correct. This is correct kind of things. So the 3.0 education is the whole brain, which is correct, which is wrong. You have to implement it or not. You have to take the decision. That is a management approach. But they want only the profits. That is the final aim of the industry. And 4.0 is nothing but their processing is improve continuously. It is a continuous process. It should be improved. No defects. It is almost like Six Sigma. It's a defect free. Out of 10,000 or out of 1 lakh, only one defect may be there in the products. So that kind of improvement should be there continuously. And here the people are the key stakeholders, internal and external. It means the industry is having many people. Only the workforce, management force, and who are having capitals. So that's only workforce. Getting that is only one day to day, how your Sensex is increasing and decreasing it. So that is the mainly. So that they have to work on that. The stakeholders may be from all the parts of the globe. So all the part of the globe means today they will be there and they may say that if the industry is not working in a proper way, I'll quit. So give my quota, that's it. So I want to go out of this industry. So that is your area and you have chosen it me and you can give me that my profits. So that is the key stakeholders, faster, better and smart, accelerated learning and human capital driven. That is the purpose actually, that one. That is the challenges for the workforce. So this is a project-based action learning is the mainly. And the UGC guidelines on examinations and academic calendar in view of COVID-19 pandemic. So here the guidelines advisory in nature. So university may chart out its own plan of action to taking into the consider issues of the pertaining to coronavirus. So I think university UGC is given some guidelines recently on July 6th, stating that how to conduct the exams, when to reopen the institutions, etc., etc. So the admission process you have to take up it 1st August to August 31st, 2020, and commencement of the classes to the students of 2nd and 3rd years from the 1st August 2020, and fresh batch or intaking of the new students. The classes may be commenced from the September 1 as per the UGC guidelines. And conducting of the examinations for them is the 1st January to 25th January 2021. That may be the possible. Or the commencement of the classes for the even semesters, that is the January 27, 2021. And conduct of examinations May 26th. But it may not be possible to just given earlier, but this is not possible now. So now they give some of the pandemic methods how to conduct the examinations. So the universities may adopt the alternative simplified modes and methods of examinations. So the universities may conduct terminal, intermediate semesters, and etc. Even I think this is a old slide, and they may conduct online exams or offline exams or mixed mode of online and offline exams. Even they can extend the project students or if MPhil, PhD for PG students, they can extend another 6 more months. So period of lockdown may be treated as a deemed to be attended by all the students. So they're changing the rules actually. So we don't know after the August 1st and how the pandemic situation. So based on that only, the government they may take some decision. So based on the decision only, they can conduct they may conduct the entrance exams of all types of entrance exams for the new batches, and also employment exams, and also semester end exams, and when to open the colleges, etc., etc. I think we have to. Everyone is, I think, read it in the newspapers. The IIT Mumbai already they declared that up to December 31st, 2020, they don't want to conduct offline classes. So they want to conduct the classes for the new academic year, and also even semester or semester exams and classes only on online up to December end of the 2020. So it means education institutions are also coming forward. They don't want to reopen their education institutions because of they want to minimize this pandemic situation. So maintaining the social distances, etc., etc. Because there are so many students are there in their institutions. The intake of the one batch is minimum 60 students for the BTech students. Example, you want to take or intermediate students. So that classroom size is only to arrange the sitting arrangement for them is only 60 capacity. So 60 students are coming where they'll sit. It means as per the pandemic situation, they have to maintain minimum 2 meters, 6 feet distance. So 6 feet distance means out of 60 people, they can sit only 10 people. 10 people for a class. So it means another 6 rooms you have to develop it. 6 batches you have to make it. For that, how many teachers you have to recruit? How many supporting staff you have to recruit? So much of problems are there. So this pandemic, I don't know when they are going to close it, but it takes time. So changes in the examination patterns also, the pandemic systems. So this may be means of assessment, part of education 4.0 also. So will not be slowly based on the current examination pattern. It will be done by analyzing their learning journey through the practical and experimental learning based projects or field works. And here you can see that the education may call it or will change the teaching learning methodologies to make the student futures ready. Or they can take it to the question and answer or subject to written examination may not suffice need the future talent requirements. So institution need to innovate, focus, or realign, respond to the new normal and we suggest. So digital first, use the digital first approach for the targeting and enhancing the students' experience, and target campaigning religion, realign marketing campaigns to focus on geographical strongholds and student segments where brand is well established. And the student experience is nothing but create an engaging student experiences as a focus is likely to shift to the lead conversion from the lead generation. And brand and community engagement, refine and strengthen the brand position through the COVID-19 efforts. At an institutional level, students, parents, and other stakeholders will prefer institutions that produces positive social impact. And the communication, develop content strategy that helps differentiate your offerings in the digital crowd and engage with the stakeholders in a clear and consistent manner. So the present sector, you can see that we use AR and VR, that is nothing but so augmented realities and virtual realities based off the campus tours. So it's nothing but you can see the bird's eye view how is that institutions, etc. Then take the admission into that, and what the people are working in the. You can leverage the digital channels and attend their webinars on key instrumental value of propositions, and personalized counseling through the chat apps, and promote students campus, and promote the students campus ambassadors on social networks with your senior students. And given that courses are online, allow the prospective students to audit courses and leverage alumni to engage with the prospectus. And coming to the evaluation process, and this is mainly uh, allowing the students to attempt some of the mock exams, conduct the mock exams to the students. That is one of the evaluation process, and online proctoring services to enable the students to take the exam from home. But this is a little bit costly also. You have to arrangement in such a way proctoring type of services to conduct the exams, and switch to the online video conferencing platforms for personal interviews, and explore alternative evaluation process, SOPs as standard of processes, and extracurricular portfolios, group discussions, and online interviews. So you can conduct some of the group discussions and online interviews to conduct the evaluating the students, or you can give the questions in such type of like open book system also. Give some little time and give the question bank to them. They have to prepare it, and you have to trust them. You have a doubt again and interact with their answer script, what they're written. If it's already written means they know about it, they will explain it. Not exactly word to word, at least they can see that. So based on their internal performance assessment, now we can conduct the online exam on open book system. And what they learn, are they written their own, or they have taken help from their family members or friends or seniors. So those, if you have, when you get doubt, you can cross check and finalize their marks. This is also another method for the evaluation process. And some of the specific challenges, and when the schools is going to reopening it. So no clear roadmap for this, no timeline for the reopening of the schools, and prolonged school closures. This could be result in a students losing up to 12 months of the school. A 1 year education system may not be there, and there may be a dropouts also from the students because they don't want to go to the school, because in their schools, at least some of the public schools, government schools, they are feeding the needy students. They're coming to the education because of the food. Because of the food means the food is available at their home also, but only thing is they will get some nutritional food in the schools, and they'll save some time, and they have a social gathering among with the other students having a food together, so they can learn the things how to be social gatherings, but having a lunch at one place. So even bringing the tiffin boxes and having sitting at one place. So this all the social gatherings also it is not happening. So that's where some students may drop out. So students, parents, they may ask them to go to the field and work and help the parents work. So this is also a problem for them. And school closure could widen a learning gap. So there should be a lot of gap. People, they may not go to the schools, means they're losing their academics. So this is a fourth one, that is dropouts and decrease in attendance. So less attendance because there is not availability of internet, smartphones, and this networking facilities. Automatically, whenever the network is available or power is available, they can get connected to the network. If there is no power, they may not use the smartphones or internet data, etc. And postponement of or cancellation of high-stake exams. So today, during examination time, if the internet is not available, they will postpone it. They may not write, so they may fail. So this kind of things. And current academic calendar will not be suitable for the changing scenario in the coming academic year. There is a lot of challenges in the COVID-19. And delay in annual education operations. This is also textbooks, uniforms, and distribution of meals. So these are the delay also in that. And safety and well-being of the teachers and the students. So we don't know how many staff members or teachers or faculty having suffering with this kind of pandemic, this COVID. So this virus, it may be suffer the students, even from students to staff, staff to student, and so many problems are there. So the well-being of teachers and students, and social distancing. So the maintaining the social distance once the schools are reopened, parents a logical and operational challenge. From the teachers or the transporting in auto or in a cab or in auto rickshaw, how many people they're supposed to transport? How it is coming, we don't know. From there to the family to the many people, it means now at least only few lakhs. So tomorrow it in crores. In India, there are almost 130 lakhs crores people populations are there. It means how many crores people will affect this, you can say that. Many are affected, that is every day. Now the positive cases, it is converting into the unexpected things. So that is a very difficult to control by the governments. So impact of the social isolation and unable to pay school fees because of families under financial stress. There's no work, no employment, no opening of the shops, no driving of the autos. So where they will get the money, how they will pay the fees for their kids? Not only school fee, transportation fee, etc., etc., even the network fees, etc. So many things. So this is a very difficult. So there is a unable to pay school fees and other things of the financial stresses. And movement of the students between public and private schools due to financial infrastructure concerns. So private schools may be rich persons, rich people, rich families, they're sending their kids. So what about the public schools? There the government is supposed to support it. The teachers may say that maintaining the social distance, they may not construct another building. So many issues are there. These are the major important challenges. So how to overcome these challenges? So we have to study the knowledge of 4.0, education 4.0, industry 4.0. By using these techniques, is there any possibility of solving these are the challenges, attempting these are the challenges of COVID-19? So I think students and teachers and parents, so they can different groups. So the potential used by the different groups. Here you can see that students, so grade 9, 6 to 9th could benefit most from the use of social media and messaging apps to receive lessons and tests. Higher classes could benefit most from the use of advanced interaction and learning platform to aid complex learning and mentoring needs. So the teachers and the educators groups will able to utilize the different mediums for the different needs actually. So for the interactions with the students, teachers should evaluate access, quality, equity, as well as a group of the students and use mobile apps. Use mobile apps and can be arising through the TV and radio channels, and even people that can get a new idea of that. Now you can see that so many channels are there in the TV network, correct? So they can start up a new channel, an educational channel. So in that education channel, one person can teach the languages, one channel. One channel must be teach only for the basics. Whenever you want to start the TV, there is only a rotation. Every half an hour, one teacher can teach the alphabets only for the kids. And another teacher comes again, kids under like a syllabus. For 1 week syllabus, you can keep it in that. Even that may be recorded one. Whenever they want, they can go back and they can listen it. So that type of TV channels. Then in the Fire Stick, you can go to the Netflix, whatever you want, whenever it is going back, Amazon. So the same one, you can read it continuously. You have a doubt, go back and see that. Now our people are watching in the TV serials. Similarly, you can if any entrepreneur they want to become education is, instead of starting a school or instead of starting a college, they can start up a new TV, education TV for engineering drawing, education TV for engineering mechanics. So like that. And C, C++, computer, and mechanical, civil engineering. So many TV channels like Star TV, you can see there's so many channels. Enard, you can see there's so many channels. So like that, Sony, so many channels. So Netflix. So these are the links, how it is there. You can have a YouTube's and as well as TV channels, register it and start it in that. Like our people have started the professional educational web. So these people have started it actually. They can start up a TV channel. The TV channel, go to the university, who is the expert in that particular subject, record it, and repeated questions, what are the questions they're asking it, ask them, they can clarify it. You can prepare a question bank and ask the teacher, he will answer it. If you can get a real time experience, then how to do, make a demo for that. So keep the options for them. You can telecast it regularly, take the advertisement in between. You can mint the money for that actually. It's a good business. That is the entrepreneur 4.0, that one actually. We know that industry 4.0, education 4.0, health 4.0, work 4.0. Now it is bringing to the entrepreneur 4.0. In the entrepreneur 4.0, you can, under the OPT, you can go to the new movies also, you can come and bring it in between, educational movies. In the movie, while making the movies, what are the technology they are using it? What are the photography technology? What are the audio technology? What are the action technology? So many things in between you can add into that. So this kind of things also can take up. Then coming to the parents can use those challenges for their wards education to supplement the limited classes and lessons provided by the teachers during the lockdown time. So the parents should support their students wards as much as possible. These are the potential different groups for the, and some of the tips for the students for preparing for the competitive exams during this pandemic of COVID-19. So first you have to create yourself good environment, a study environment. So the study environment is very important. So this will allow the students to maintain concentration and minimize the learning efficiency. Choose a place with a proper ventilation, lighting, and minimal distractions where you can study peacefully. Because in the house, brother is studying in a online classes, attending online classes, sister is watching a movie, mother is watching a TV. So many disturbances is distracting that. So that is not good environment for the preparing for a competitive exams. So if you're going out and sitting under the tree means we don't know how the pandemic will come out of from the outside. So be careful and choose that place in such a way. You have to protect your surroundings, and it should having a good ventilation and having a good lighting, and as much as possible distractions. So this way, create the study environment is very important. And another one is you have to goal setting. Set realistic goals according to your potential and priorities. What is your potentials? What is your priorities? And you have to set your goals actually. So realistic targets keep you motivated, helps you focus better rather than getting worked up and unrealistic goals. And stick to specific short-term goals and work towards them with a proper study plan. So you want to go to the movie means that exactly that 3 hours you will get the benefit out of it. Similarly, the short-term goals also, you want to study this topic today because you are preparing the competitive exams. In the competitive exams, what are the government policies? How the government is implementing it? What is the economy, how it is happening it? What is the GDP of the country? How the people are discussing on that? How the people are reporting on the newspapers? So you have to come to your own conclusion. So many ways, so many resources are there to getting the information. And come your own way and write up your own article and keep it ready for you based on the, if the COVID is attack positive, then what are the precautions supposed to take? You write your own way. Listen from the many sources and write up your own ideas, your own way, what is the correct. What you believe in, it is correct. It may be correct, may not be correct, but your own way, you have to make it. Maintaining or stick to the specific short-term goals. So that short-term goals, what are the immediately precautions supposed to take? Emergency. So what if it's happened to you? Believe it yourself. So if it is positive in your case, what are the precautions supposed to take it? How you are going to curing it? Where you are approaching? How many people are approaching it? How many precautions? What are the precautions you are taking? So so many things are coming in that. So those things, your short-term goal should be there like that for your competitive exams also. Set a time to complete your task. So you have to fix your time for the completing your tasks to complete your required and time required and efforts to complete it. So be determined to complete the task within the specified time. Plan and schedule your daily activities and try not to let anything interrupt your schedule. The scheduling in such a way, if really there is an exam is there, tomorrow there is a MSET exam is there. So the rules says that it should be there before starting of the exam. Exam is at 10 o'clock means sharp 10. Exam is 9 o'clock means sharp 9. You should be there in the hall. Even 1 minute late also they won't allow you. So it means the time complete task. They will take that, how the scheduling it is. So it is not interrupting your schedule. So you will go there before 9 o'clock. What are the transportation mode? How you will go? Are any available or not? So who is accompanying you? What are the things to be carried with you? You have to checklist, you have to keep it and follow the things. Similarly, you have to complete your task also in every time, every day for the competitive examination. So make use of this lockdown period for preparing the pandemic of COVID-19. So again, what you learn in the above, that is your goals and completing your task. So discuss what you learn with your peer group. So everything you have to discuss with your colleague or your father, teacher, brother, who knows about this. Or if no one is there, put it in the WhatsApp and put it in a YouTube. People will give the commenting, liking, disliking. You create something. So people are liking, it means ask them to give your opinions. Right? Their comments on that. So like that, discuss whatever you learn for your competitive examination. So this is a peer discussions also help you check your this is going to check your progress and exchange knowledge while offering friendly and healthy competition. And take regular breaks actually. So continuously sitting at one place and thinking the same ideas at a time, it is also not good actually. So always what is happening in the COVID is difficult. Better watch a movie and watch some other go to the walking with the precautions and play some game with your friends, 5-6 people with precaution. A play schedule only, just only 2 people is enough. So some kind of breaks, at regular intervals, or you can listen the music. If really you want to sing good song, sing it, and take little intervals. Actually, listening music and watching little bit of the movie in TV, and stop it, and again you restart from the same where you stopped it. So like that, and short breaks will make your study time more efficient and productive. And meditation, physical exercise. So meditation also is required to help you clamp your mind and improve your concentration power. And exercise also, physical exercise is going to help the relaxation of your body. Always sitting at one posture, it's not good actually. Move here and there and rejuvenate your body while enabling you to make your mind of things. And physical and mental exercise helps keep stress levels in check. So this is basically, it's going to help you. And also sleeping is also very important for the human being. So at least minimum 7 to 8 hours, or at least 6 to 8 hours every day you have to sleep. Almost the sleep improves attention and concentration. If the lack of sleep affects your mood, focus, motivation, and sometimes drowsiness, stress, etc., so many things. Whatever you're reading, it may not enter into your mind. So those are the things you'll get that. So getting adequate sleep by going to bed. So early helps in better retention of all that is studied. And ensure you sleep at least 6 to 8 hours a day. So better sleep early actually, 9 and get up at 6. Keep away social media if you are preparing for the competitive exams. Social media also, it's a glance, that's it. Almost one, whatever is coming, everywhere it goes there actually. But don't send whatever the WhatsApp message you're getting it, forget about it. You got it means others also is getting it some way. When you are using any gradient during your study time, except during the breaks only you can see it. And also be positive, not the COVID positive. Be positive, always believe in yourself to achieve excellence in all that you do. So even the positive, COVID positive also don't need to worry about it actually. So only thing is how to protect, how to come out of it. So think that you are in the positive situation and your mind should be positive. Believe in yourself. Nothing will happen to me. And how to come out of it, what are the precautions supposed to take. So next one is some of the online learning sources, resources are available. One is a Diksha and e-Patashala and a National Respiratory Open Educational Resources, Swayam, that is also there, Swayam portal, and Swayam Prabha, a National Digital Library. So these are the online learning resources are there. So these learning online resources may be useful for you. Go there and make use of it. And I thank the organizers for giving this opportunity. Any questions, please, and we can interact.